Good Thursday morning, everyone. Welcome to your WB First Alert Weather Extra. I'm meteorologist Henry Blakes, and you notice today it has been a bit on the chillier side than we have been for quite some time. It didn't feel this chilly yesterday morning, but this morning, yeah, you definitely wanted the sleeves. And you'll notice Baton Rouge, 46 degrees, but much colder air on Canadian air from the Great Lakes region is pushing to the south. You know, it's Minneapolis, Chicago in the teens, even only 30 in Nashville. Atlanta's only a degree above freezing. And some of that weather is making its way into parts of Texas as well as Oklahoma. Looking at the state of Louisiana and Mississippi, Jackson 42, 43 in Macomb, already up to 45 in Alexandria and Shreveport, but in Baton Rouge and New Orleans reporting 46 and 48 degrees. Got a couple of low 50s near the coast for Patterson, for our coastal parishes, in Patterson as well as Houma. Hammond, you're reporting 47 degrees, and you're 10 degrees cooler than you were this time yesterday. So definitely feeling that chill in the air compared to 24 hours ago. Now with the feels like temperatures, feels like more in the low to mid 40s along the I-10-12 corridor. Still feels like 37 in Macomb. And I just want to let you know now, not much is going to change with our temperatures for the moment over the rest of the day. But on a positive note, it is a beautiful day across South Louisiana. Looking at our network of Skywatch cameras brought to you by Our Lady of the Lake, Baton Rouge into Falls River, a picture perfect sky. Just a few fair weather clouds trying to make their way through the Baton Rouge area, but a mainly clear sky can be expected for the rest of the day. Now, as far as our temperatures, we should be in the low 60s for mid-January, but instead we're talking about mostly 50s from Baton Rouge on southward, low 50s at that, north of Baton Rouge. Some of you, like New Roads, Macomb, into, let's say, Greensburg, Slaughter, you may not even get out of the 40s for today. That goes into Wilkinson and Amite counties in Mississippi as well. So that cooler air, it's going to be sticking around, but we're going to have a few fluctuations in our weather over the next 48 hours or so. So I want to show you future cast for the weekend. We're going to be watching a weak little cold front push through the area on Saturday. Now, as far as the colder air behind it, yes, that will be coming in. Saturday is going to be a little bit slightly warmer for some of us, but not by much. But behind the front, we're going to have another round of colder air, not bitterly cold, but maybe enough to give us a few light freezes as we go into next week. But speaking of light freezes, we could be dealing with another one tonight and into your Friday morning, as lows tend to dip mostly into the 30s, and that could be widespread across the area. But as far as protection, just be sure to protect the 3 Ps, people, pets, and plants. Pipes for now appear to be okay. The next few days, let's talk about Friday. Friday could have a few late day and early Saturday morning showers across the area with the passage of the next front. Look at Friday. Friday, we're talking about temperatures near 70 degrees ahead of that frontal system, but once the cooler air pushes through on Saturday, we do dip down back into the 50s, and then it gets even cooler than that on Sunday because it's going to take some time for the coldest of that air to push into the region. So we could be only in the 40s for Sunday morning. Notice as far as the light freeze, as I mentioned, tonight and the Friday morning, some of us could be dealing with a light freeze, especially if you live north of the I-10-12 corridor, and then the potential for another light freeze comes in on Sunday. Now, one thing you may notice here, rain icon versus, yes, that is a snow icon for Saturday night and into early Sunday morning, mainly before sunrise. There is the potential for a little bit of winter precipitation across the area, but it's going to be difficult and it's going to be a huge factor with the timing because we're going to have a bit of an upper air disturbance that will push into the area Saturday night and into your Sunday morning. That could produce a little bit of moisture across the area. Now, it depends on how quickly the coldest of the air can make its way into the area. If it manages to make it before the moisture ends up exiting the region, then that could give us that potential of maybe a light mix of rain, sleet, maybe even a couple of snow flurries. But the coldest of that air will have to make it down into South Louisiana and Southwest Mississippi in order for us to have even the chance of that transitioning into winter precipitation. At the moment, the majority of the weather models are still not in agreement, but some of them do still have that potential of maybe a little bit of winter precipitation across parts of the deep south as we go into your Saturday night and early Sunday morning. So this is something we're going to be watching out for, not something to be overly concerned about. You know, we don't usually get any snow down here anyway over the past several years, except for last year. But one thing I do want to emphasize, this is not going to be a repeat of January 21st and 22nd of 2025. This is just going, if we do get any winter precipitation, it's just going to be the light, barely any accumulation after the way things are looking right now. But this is still something we're going to monitor in case things changes. But remember, it all has to depend on whether or not the coldest of that air can make it down to our region before the moisture pushes out into the Gulf. But for the moment, this is the National Blend Models. It takes multiple models and puts them together and showing us that potential of some light winter precipitation anywhere in Louisiana up through Mississippi into Alabama and northern Georgia. So we will be keeping an eye on this for everyone. But for the moment, not expecting you to have to cancel any plans, not expecting you to have to take any type of drastic measures when it comes down to the cold for the weekend, even into next week. So if we do get the snow late Saturday night and Sunday morning, it will be a nice little sight to see. But for the moment, the chances still remain relatively low at 20%. Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in, and be sure to watch us this afternoon. Jeff Morrow will have the latest on our rain and potentially snowfall potential, in addition to our weather coming up tonight with Dr. Steve Caparato. Have a great day.
Southern Air of Baton Rouge says no, 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 no interest, no money down, no payments for 12 months on HVAC, plumbing, and electrical services. Scan the QR code on your screen to learn more.
I'm Lawyer Locke Meredith. If you're battling an insurance company because of a wreck not your fault and they're not calling you back or being fair, whether you hire us at all, give us a call, 272-5555, or email Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates. You have nothing to lose.